Luukkonen got you through the first 5 minutes, but once you got through those 5 minutes, it really looked like your team had turned things around. And what were they doing better once they got out of that little bit?
We definitely didn't get to our game right away, and as you mentioned, UPL pretty much saved us, kept them out of the game for the first till we could get till the 1:15 alarm clock went off, I think. But once we got to it, I thought we pressured pucks very well. We kept our motion and we got back to our game, which was very, very nice to see. And when I say got back to our game, I don't think we've had our game in that type of game all year. So hopefully it's a revelation to our guys, or something that they can feed off of and move forward on now. And I've mentioned something with respect to that to them after the game as well.
He made that save on Rantanen about halfway through the first one. It was scoreless. I mean, that really changes the game. I mean, what can that do for a team to get a stop like that early?
It does everything. You look for your goaltending. Sometimes you leave them hanging, and I say this. Sometimes it's every game in the NHL. There's points in a game where you're relying on your goalie, and for him to keep them off the scoreboard until we could get our legs under us and find our rhythm was everything. And you don't want to give that team confidence, and he denied that with some early action against him. And once we got to our game, obviously, it's a different story on that. From that point, they didn't get the confidence, and now we get our confidence going and get our game going, and so it was everything for us to have Upi play the way he did.
We talked a lot about the personnel changes on the penalty kill, but how much this year just have the goaltenders played with a lot more confidence, and maybe the personnel has given them that to make the saves to help your PK?
Well, the goalies have played better, but it all goes hand in hand. I mean, obviously, it's evident to see the structure that's there by virtue of going through some unfortunate challenges last year with the guys that have returned. Being, Samuelson is a key component. You add Eric Johnson, and that is huge to add. But yeah, the guys that were on it last year, Tuck and Thompson, have hindsight that they never had, and that helped us coaching going into the year. And they're better. They're just better because of what they've gone through, and they're playing much better as a group. So we obviously want that to continue.
You were hoping inevitably your offense was going to pick up after, maybe the Montreal game was a real frustration point. But what does it mean to you to see that, you have gotten 14 goals in these last 3 games, and you kind of have found what you were hoping you'd run into?
Well, like I mentioned, we're getting to our game. I felt we're 9 games in now, and it's probably not good of me to say we haven't gotten to our game. When you think of 9 games in, but our attention has been diverted to probably last season and some of the things we perceive that might have been our doom, and buttoning up in certain areas. And when your attention goes to that, with the intensity that we've had to do that, you can lose yourself in what you're actually good at. And but that push has been good. I think our guys have taken those things to heart, and will continue to develop in the areas that we need to as we've laid it out. And I think we're starting to get a little bit more comfortable with that, where we can now move back to our game. But we need to be a high tempo team, and we just haven't been able to do that lately. So tonight was a good game to get that feel back, and obviously we want that to continue.
But on that offensive note, what does it say about the system where guys like Tuck, Skinner, and Dahlin are, of course, racking up point streaks, but in that time you've still shuffled lines and moved guys around? What does that say about their continued ability to be fluid with each other?
Well, it says we have a lot of skill, to me, a lot of skill that can convert and convert quick. But again, when we're getting these guys to concentrate on defense, and as a component of growing and details to defense of stuff they never had to pay attention to really, and that can pull you out of it. So as they gain more experience in that's less taxing on the focus and the strain. But I would say, for us, the push now is, much like we talked to the guys going into the third period about you don't know what the third period holds, but you know what the game plan was. Make sure we're very focused, and much like we don't know what the future holds, stop worrying about it. It's taking away from what we are, and we need to go and make sure we are what we are every night, and I think we haven't gotten to that. So tonight was a good look at that, and that'll continue to be our challenge, I'm certain of it.
Trying to establish some consistency, how important is it for everybody on the bench to see the way that you guys got your first goal? The middle sideline takes away the middle of the ice, Skinner intercepts a pass, and I mean, they earned that through playing responsible.
They absolutely did, Lance, and great job pointing all of that out. They got, in all seriousness, the simplicity of getting and owning the middle of the rink. Reloading is the term, and even the entry, the drive, the drive to the net by Skinner. Look at it. That's Jeff Skinner going and driving the net that created the goal, and forced coverage to open up a shot. We've talked a lot about net presence, shot mentality, and teams that struggle usually don't have that. Teams that are going have that. It's not us. It's hockey, and that was a lot of components of real good hockey on that.
What does it mean to see Ukko-Pekka build off of a strong start in Ottawa and then turn this into his first shutout today?
Well, it's nice, obviously, for Upi to have a night like tonight because he puts the work in, and it was 60 minutes of consistency for him. So glad nothing happened at 4-0, and there was a bad bounce because he deserved the shutout. He earned it.
He iced the puck early, but he settled in. He looked very comfortable. Just what did you think of him, I guess?
Jacob iced the puck early, but I think 5 of our guys did too. So it was not on Jacob by any means. But I thought Bryce was really good, showed a confidence level that he just did not have last year. Very confident, and that's key in this league.